Hello everyone, and today is a very weird something I haven't done before, but I felt I just had to talk about it. I recently finished reading Unital Ring, volume 21 of Sword Art Online, and it's been out for a long time now, and I've had the book for a while, but I've just never read it. And I recently read it, so I decided, you know what? I think I just have to talk about it, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So today I'm talking about Unital Ring, and I'm gonna give a bit of a review on it. I'm gonna try not to be super spoily, because like I do want. Obviously, the whole point is for you to buy buy Unital Ring, and this is just me giving my thoughts on it. Now, the reason I decided to read Unital Ring was I was doing a Sword Art Online rewatch, and I finished War of Underworld, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I have Unital Ring, the first book. I'll just start reading them now. So that's what I did, and I read the first book in little chunks every day to not, overexhaust myself. And wow, I gotta say, let me just start this by saying I liked it. I thought it was a good start. The idea of the storyline where all these all the VR MMOs RPGs that are like connected to the Seed Nexus have now all been converted into just one big survival game is sweet. I think that's a cool idea. They're all restarting from zero. Well, I guess technically level 1. That, whatever. Obviously, we gotta have some stakes. While reading the book, as they go through, like, having to survive in this new world, I got so much Minecraft vibes. And that's just because, I grew up with Minecraft. Minecraft's a survival game. So when they're like, oh, we need wood, we gotta go chop down trees, and we gotta get a furnace going. I'm just like, oh my god, it's so Minecraft. I just got huge Minecraft vibes from it. I don't know what more I can really say without having to go super in depth, and I don't want that to be the case. I just want to just get at the surface of it. That I really enjoyed the story. I thought that this is gonna be, when they do an animation of this, I think this will be really, really cool. As I was reading the book, I was like going through, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be episode 1, this is gonna be episode 2, this is gonna be episode 3. As I'm going through the book, I think I was at like chapter 3, and I'm like, I already got like the first 5 episodes right here. I liked how, I believe it was something Reki said where he's like, Kirito's iron armor that he's got on the cover is just as important as Kate's Sedalis, and he is right, because as you read it, you do start to realize, yes, having that iron armor is very important. And it is a very big moment when Kirito gets that iron armor. I think when all the games get converted, then this is a bit spoilery. I'm getting in a bit spoilery territory now, so if you don't want to hear it, just tune out or skip a couple seconds. But the part where when the game is converted, they're at a grace period. And it's like all the equipment they had out at that time that the conversion happened, or I guess we can call it the unification, that it happened. Like all the equipment they had out wasn't affected, but once Kirito takes off his armor, he can't put it back on because it's too high class, and he's restarting from level 1. So he's just for majority of this story, Kirito's in his boxers. And they have good fun making fun of that. And like their weapons, they can't use their weapons because their weapons are too high level for them now. So the weight of the weapons is like fully on them. Which it's a nice way to not get rid of everything. Right? Like not just completely strip them of everything like when they're converted. It's a way where it's like it's all there, but they just can't use it yet. It's like it's been locked. And they gotta unlock it again. And we go the story mainly takes the position of Kirito's point of view, and then we see Silica's point of view. Not really like told from her point of view, but like she's the focus of the narration for the portions. They get like 2 portions with Silica, Liz, and Yui, who Yui's very much changes in this book. So there's a big thing with Yui. I don't really want to say, but their sections are very enjoyable. They're not long. There's only 2 of them, and they're like a chapter each, and they're like on the shorter chapters as well. But they were very good, and when everyone meets up at the end, it's kind of like the gang's all together type thing. And great moment when Kirito gets that iron armor and goes after the PKers. Who that was a bit of a shock to me. Yeah, even though now thinking back on it, I'm like, oh, I should have seen that coming. But you know, great moment there. I was listening to the soundtrack when I was reading this to like get myself in like the mood. And I played Swordland during the part where Kirito starts messing them up, and it fit perfectly. It was very good. And the ending of the book. Who shows up at the end of the book? That's a big one. That's probably already been said already who shows up at the end of this book, but if you don't know, don't go looking for it, because you'll find it and then it'll ruin like a really cool moment at the end. And this book does start. Speaking of like, we just talked about the ending of the book, talking about the beginning of the book, how it starts is it starts with like a log, like an audio diary log entry of 2 people talking. I don't want to get putting on my theory hat of who those 2 people are. I can only theorize that it is Kayaba and the Star King talking to each other, and that they are just going to observe their work for now. It's very much a question, like for most people in Unital Ring, because that's the name of the new game that they're in. When everything gets converted, they're like, oh, you're in Unital Ring, a new survival game. That they're like, who did this? Very much, I think it's the thing where we, the audience, know it's probably Kayaba and the Star King have done this, and it's just a matter of our characters finding out eventually. And of course, big stakes are in Unital Ring, where kind of takes a bit of Sword Art Online, where it's like, if you die in the game, you don't die in real life, you just can't log back in. You're like banned from entering the game again. And now this probably wouldn't be a problem, because you're like, oh, I died in the Unital Ring, or whatever, I'll go play my new game. But you can't, because every game on the Seed Nexus is now Unital Ring. They've all been unified into Unital Ring. So you can't. It's pretty much like if you die in Unital Ring, you're done playing with like the atmosphere. Like, I guess forever, I guess. And now, unless there's a way to come back, they never really said anything in this book if there's a way to come back. Just that if you die in Unital Ring, you can't play anymore. You're logged out forever. Oh, I had something on the tip of my tongue that I was going to talk about as well, but I completely forgot. Oh, yeah, in this book, they very much, I do like how they talk about the Ogma. The Ogma is now in this, so for those wondering, or still debating if Ordinal Scale is canon or not, it is now, because they mentioned the Ogma like 5 times. And they mentioned the Ordinal Scale incident, so it's canon now. Which is great, because I love Ordinal Scale. I think that's a great movie. So that made me happy to see it in there. I'm like, we're acknowledging it. Good, because it was in the anime. They were, for Alicization and War of Underworld, they were having the Ogma. And you know, of course we had the AG moment where he showed up, which wasn't in the book, but I like that more, just because it ties in ordinal scale. I like it when stuff like that, where it's like we're all just one universe, you know, and we're gonna connect all the dots, you know. That's why some of the early MCU stuff works so well, because it's like, yeah, we're all just, even though these movies are separate, here's the things that are gonna tie them back together. I think some things to talk about that are a bit spoilery, but not too spoilery, as I don't want to get like super into it. Like they now have, like, you know, they have their HP. They got. Let me see if I can find it. They have HP, MP, which is like easy. That's health points and like mana points, and then they have TP and SP. We find out that TP is thirst points and SP is stamina points. So TP, they now have to like constantly drink water again, which in a survival game, that sucks. Having to constantly drink water, and obviously, you know, the more you exhaust yourself in the game, the more your thirst points goes down. Same thing with stamina, because stamina, they're kind of like their energy and all that, so they have to deal with that as well. We also get a really funny moment. Not really funny, but it's just kind of like a really type moment where Kirito starts off the book by saying, you know, he got his name Kirito from, you know, his name, right? You know, Kiri is from Kirigaya and To was from Kazuto. He's like, his real birth parents' last name obviously was not Kirigaya. It was something with like an N or something like that. And he's just like, oh, if my parents didn't die, my name would have been Naruto instead. And I'm like, oh, you piece of garbage. We're really gonna do that, huh? Yeah, and then again, illustrations that are common in the Sword Art books are all there, and they're all great. They are all great, like always. And I think that's gonna wrap this up. I don't want to go. This isn't something super in depth. This is just giving you a bit of info on it, so you can kind of see what's going forward. And obviously, if you are waiting for the next season of Sword Art Online, well, it's actually happening right now in the novels with Unital Ring. So overall, Unital Ring I thought was a really good book. I really enjoyed it. This is just the start. Obviously, I can't say like overall I think the Unital Ring arc is going to be the best things and whatever. I can't say that. I've only read one, and I've only just started reading the second book as I say this. I've read the first chapter of the second book now. Overall, I thought the book was fine. I thought it was it's a good start, like really good start. It's got like you questioning like, what does this mean? Why is this happening? And then answers to some of those questions happen, and then big reveals where you're like, oh my god. It has all a starting point for a big story needs. If I was gonna rate the book, out of 10, I give it an 8, a solid 8. Like, it's a great just start. I feel like I've said that 5 times now. Anyway, that's it for my little review here of Unital Ring. If you've read the book, let me know what you thought of it in the comments. And yeah, that's gonna be it. So thank you all so much for listening to this, and I'll see you all for another video